I spoke at the Heritage Foundation in February 2014. After my talk, I was unexpectedly met in the lobby by Chinese television with a mic thrust in my face. They wanted an interview. Why was I talking so much about China? Soon as I finished the interview, I was approached by a well-dressed Chinese woman with a local university position and a business card, which she handed me. She commented that I sure had a lot to say about China in my talk. And yes, I was very clear in explaining the economic war already underway and the threat posed by China. But what bothered me was all this attention I was getting from Chinese personnel, all this interest in my talk and in my book. So I asked the lady with the business card why she was there, and she said that she always follows the Heritage Foundation whenever China is discussed, anything that might be of interest to China. She said, "You're making a lot of points about unrestricted warfare," and I was. So I asked her if I said anything that was factually inaccurate. She smiled and said no. Then I looked more closely at the business card, and I looked at her, and I said, "You're Chinese PLA, aren't you? Chinese People's Liberation Army?" She just smiled. And I knew instantly she was a part of the Chinese PLA. She was sent there to monitor me. And I asked, "Look, am I going to get whacked? Is the Chinese government going to come after me?" And she smiled again and she said, "No." I said, "Why not?" She said, "Because no one will believe you." I was curious. If everything I said was true and she agreed with it, why wouldn't anyone believe me? She said, "Because we own half this town." I said, "Who owns the other half?" She said, "The Saudis." That was more than 5 years ago. And I've been pounding the table about the China threat in the Pentagon, at the DIA, at the FBI, with Congress. Wherever I went, I said, China is a threat. And I was always told, no, China is our friend. They would never harm us. The truth is that 5 years ago, I had freedom of speech to voice my opinion. But those days are waning. The Chinese Communist Party is now aggressively attempting to control America's speech, and they're not alone. Join me in the Economic War Room as we discuss the economic war on free speech, how it will impact you, and what you should do about it. In episode 19, we said, do not take the mark of the progressive beast. We talked about the Orwellian attacks on our First Amendment, whether it's political correctness or shaming or banning, punishing by the media, social media, or politicians. Sadly, things have only gotten worse. Now it's not just Facebook, Google, or YouTube trying to control what you think and what you say. And it's not just easily triggered progressives. We actually have powerful foreign governments demanding that we only say things that they approve.